Hello, I'm Kieron Shepherd.
I'm Jonathan Stobbs.
And welcome back to this week's episode of Property Developers Playbook.
This is the podcast where we talk about the business of property development. So whether you're just getting started to do your first development or whether you're looking to scale, this podcast is for you.
Yeah, and if you're joining us again, welcome back. And if this is your first time to the podcast, welcome. Please subscribe, share and like.
Click the button.
Click the button.
Yeah. We had
never done that
sound
before.
effects. Yeah,
ring the bell.
Faith's going to love us because we're adding our own sound effects now. Anyway.
Faith, add that in or cut it out, whichever's better.
So today we're talking about presentations. Presentations are important when you're talking to vendors, investors, agents. When I say presentations, I use it loosely, but it's more about how you present yourself as a developer, and then how you present your offers or how you present development opportunities to your investors.
Yeah.
And so we're going to cover that on this week's episode.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you want to talk about any updates before we do that?
Oh yeah, we haven't done something.
We haven't done any kind of updates for ages.
In a while. So where should we start?
Saltash. Yeah.
Saltash is going very well. Team Shepherd are doing really well.
Yeah. So Saltash is the office to resi conversion for Nana Pop. What was that? Anyway, if you're listening on podcast, watch the video. You'll understand why all the laughing. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's coming along. We're actually gearing up for launching the flats to the markets in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we've got an open day. That's going to be good. We've had plenty of interest. So
yeah, we actually showed some people around unofficially.
Yeah.
Last week. So very positive. Very
positive. Yeah, it's good. It's been going well. So really pleased with that.
Our Listgard development. You've obviously done a video about it. So this is one that's coming to fruition effectively. It's been like a year and a half behind the scenes working.
It doesn't feel that long though, does it? I know it does. Sometimes it does. But when you think about, I don't know, it just feels feels like yesterday we were sort of looking at it for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, putting the offers in. And ultimately this is again another reason for this podcast episode. How you present your offer makes a big difference when it comes to talking to not only the agents but also the vendors. And this, we'll touch on that a little bit. So planning on that should be going in within the next few weeks, I'm hoping, fingers crossed.
We have got some delays on that, which is a bit annoying, a bit frustrating, but we've sort of overcome that and just move forward, keep moving forward.
Still looking at other developments. We're still being sent a few things. We went to go look at another one last week. But unrealistic on the expectations of price. Yeah,
shame. Nice site. Yeah. Nice size site. Flat land. Everything's there.
Got full planning.
Full planning. So there's a lot of boxes ticked. But just again, the unrealistic expectation of what the land is worth, which we've said in previous podcasts. And in that instance, we've shown our interest, but we're not going to push it.
Desperate. Yeah,
he's not desperate. We're not desperate. No. So
he's literally just got planning a few days ago. So it's very early doors.
So, he's on cloud nine. He thinks it's worth the amount of money that we wouldn't pay or even offer. So we'll see if it comes back on the table. At a realistic amount. Yeah.
There's another one that we've offered on. We're just leaving that offer on the table. We're waiting for them to kind of come back. That one we offered a year ago, so we're still following up. Just keep doing the follow-ups. Yeah. That's always the biggest thing.
Yep. And obviously just keep reviewing. We're looking at deals all the time. Which these are just the ones that sort of make it to the point of either visiting site, meeting the vendor, again, presentation, how you turn up, show up.
Yeah. Actually, you had a phone call from a vendor recently that wants us to come back and have a chat with them.
Did I?
Yep.
Who was that?
Woodlands.
Oh yeah.
So that's potentially back on the cards.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's the game. It has its ups and downs, and you just never know, do you? Yeah. So
we'll see.
And we've been having meetings with things that we can't really discuss at the minute. We can't put them out yet, but some exciting stuff. So
some big things coming.
Some big things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So presentations.
Presentations and presentation of
and presenting.
Presenting. Yes. That's the word.
And you are probably the biggest impact when it comes to presenting and doing presentations.
Yeah.
No matter who you're talking to.
I would like to just state, I don't think we're experts on this.
No. This is purely caveat, our opinion.
our opinion.
What we've experienced, use it, don't use it.
Yeah.
This is entirely your choice.
Yeah, we know where we go wrong, or where our strengths are, or where our weaknesses are. And I think that's the key, is understanding that in yourself. And, you know, I think there's sides of this to what you offer as a presentation material, and there's obviously how you present. And there's always little things and little hang-ups, and you'll sort of come away from meetings or presentations going, oh, you know, in review I should have done this, or I can do that, and you will get better each time.
I think the big thing is, as long as you review.
You've got to review. Yeah.
And just think about what you said, how you said it, what was the timing like. We did a presentation yesterday to an investor. I thought it went really well.
Yeah, you smashed the actual presentation, by the way.
That's good.
I thought it was very good. That looked great.
Yeah. Well, we've just had a call with him recently, and he's actually said, he's interested. So now we're looking at the next steps on that. So
we could even just break that down a little bit, couldn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of how that looks. So we feel that it's important. You know, we've invited him to our offices, to a meeting room, and there's little things you want to make sure. You know, you want to make sure that meeting room is presented well. It's summer, so not too hot that people are sitting and thinking, "Oh, I want to get out of here." You know, strange little things like offering drinks and making people feel comfortable. Testing your equipment, so you know, we put it up on a big screen. Yeah, bigger than that screen. By the way.
I had fun trying to make sure it was all working.
That's right. But you've done your preparation in that. You've made sure the screen works, and you've got your, you know, you obviously in the days before, weeks before, you've put the presentation together. Yeah. We've taken a bit of time to prep, make sure that we understand, you know, the pitch and how we're going to deal with that, and how we're going to project ourselves forward. You know, and obviously how you present yourself. You know, you don't want to be turning up, you know, T-shirt and shorts. Yeah. Although you gauge that, you know, in some
normally it's the investors that arrive in T-shirts and shorts, and you're trying to do all the impressing.
But that's fine as well. Again, if you're meeting on a beach cafe, it might be a bit different. You wouldn't want to go in shirts and trousers or whatever. But I think you should always come away from that and review. I don't think anyone comes away from a presentation and feels, I smashed that. Oh, I do sometimes, but that's arrogance. That's not
there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. That's what I'll go down.
To me, they're just blended. But no, I think everyone comes away and does think, I could have done better there, or that could have, you know, yesterday's presentation was fantastic, but there was a couple of things, you know, I wish I ordered the steak in the restaurant we went to after. You know, that looked good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. So anyway, there's always regrets. There's always things you'll do differently next time. So I'll be ordering the steak.
Oh, so you didn't like the baguette?
Well, I didn't like the cheese on the steak cheese baguette. It wasn't great.
Yeah. Anyway, we digress. The main thing is, you know, whether you're speaking to a vendor, an agent, a landowner, you know, anything like that, an investor, you are the biggest selling point. Yeah. First and foremost, it's you, and people will have imposter syndrome at the very beginning if they've done nothing. Yeah. But you've got to look back. We've spoken about this on previous podcasts. You've got experience in something in what you're doing at the moment, whether that's, you know, working in an office or any kind of environment. There's some sort of skills that you'd be able to translate into what you're doing with property development. You know, we spoke to business owners, you know, who run businesses. You can translate those skills into running a property development, etc. So you just got to sell yourself, and it's always sales. People who say they don't like sales, but actually you're always selling. Whether you're finding a girlfriend or a wife, or finding a business partner or anything like that, you're always selling. Yeah, you are. Yeah, in everything in life, you're always selling. Even if you're employed and you're not a salesperson in your role, you're always selling. You've always got to perform. You've always got to, you know, sell yourself. Well, you sold yourself to get that job.
Exactly that. Yeah. And I think one of the most important things in it is that honesty and integrity, like with yourself more than what you're projecting. Like if you're honest with yourself and say, well, this is who I am. I'm comfortable with that, and I'm going to be honest. You know, you'll only, if you try and pitch a lie, or if you try and be someone you're not too much, you know, that's gonna show. Yeah, people can read that straight away. So, you know, asking questions and just being honest, you know, and if you're asked a difficult question or you don't know, just be like, I don't know. Yeah, not too sure at the minute, but I'll find out. I'll work that out. Yeah, because people see straight through lies, or you know, we all know what con men look like.
The thing is, you'll always attract people that work with you.
Yeah.
You're not going to appeal to everyone.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You find the people that you gel with, and
Yeah.
then that works and makes the relationship stronger.
Yeah.
So, the main things when people are looking at you and talking to you is like, do they believe you, and do they like the opportunity, and can they see themselves working with you? And exactly the same, you've got to be doing the same thing with your investors, same thing with the vendors. Can you see yourself working with them long term?
Yeah.
Especially in property development, which typically ranges from 6 to 12 months, if not longer. So,
yeah. And I think do your background checks before you're at that meeting. I mean, we live in a world of socials, and people do put their stuff out there, so they're going to do the checks on you. So do your checks to understand who the people are.
Yeah. So make sure your socials are respectable.
Exactly that. Presentation. Make sure you are projecting the right person, because you'll be there scratching your head going, why are these people not taking me up on my offer for a meeting, blah blah. If you've got drunken nights on your socials, that's not going to look too great. No. It's all common sense really, but you need to strip it back and really study yourself and look at what you're projecting out there. So should we break down the actual offer presentation?
Yeah, offer presentations first and foremost. We've spoken about, again, previous podcasts. Putting an offer forward is a delicate thing, but you don't want it to be something where you just send an email saying, here's our offer, it's a fixed figure of, let's say, 450 grand or whatever, with no kind of context. So that's means nothing.
It's flippant, isn't it? It's very throwaway. It's very, that has no substance.
And that's how it's going to be received.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you have a offer pack, which we've created and we use a lot, everything that we present is in an offer pack, which has got certain structures to it. And that just shows you that to the vendors and to the agents that you've understood the opportunity.
Yep.
You've done your due diligence on the sites. You've understand what the constraints are.
Yep.
And the constraints help you in negotiation of validating what the offer price is.
Yeah.
So you can put that in there. Your proposal, we always put in 3 offers.
Yep.
Whether that's a straight purchase, a deferred vendor finance, or a JV or something like that, a mix. You could put anything in that you want. We are pretty transparent with our figures.
I think you should be always.
Yeah.
I think that helps in the pitch. I think again it shows that honesty. It shows that you are open, and that's how you want to start the relationship and continue the relationship, being honest and open.
Yeah. We use it also as a bit of this is what we're working to. Tell me where I'm wrong, almost.
Exactly that.
And ultimately, it's it has to work for you as the developer. So the numbers need to stack for you, not necessarily for the vendor, but you justifying why you've put those numbers in. And then have certain kind of terms. You might have a subject to planning or subject to surveys or something like that. So you have certain conditions. Again, the conditions are there for you as the buyer to try and mitigate some of the risks that you've identified through your due diligence.
Yeah. And again, you're putting in this effort and presenting it in a way where you want to be seen as professional, and that people, you want to move in to a relationship with you. That relationship may just be buyer-seller. That's a relationship. You've still got to feel comfortable on both sides that you are, going to see this through, or it might be like you say, an agent or a JV partner or anything like this. You're forming a relationship, short or long term. So that is important that you get all these things in there, but also the way that looks now. Graphic design might not be your thing. If it's not, AI can help with that. But also there are people like graphic designers who will help find your brand. They'll talk to you and understand who you are and what you're trying to project. Because I think even with AI, and people miss this, you've still got to be good at copy. You've still got to be able to understand. You've got to tell it what you want to do.
Yeah. Good data in, good data out.
Good data, exactly. And one of the hardest things, people struggle to explain who they are into AI to get the output. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas if somebody else sees it, and if their job as a graphic designer or someone like that is able to get the big picture of who you are, and they can put it down. So I'm not saying one or the other. You could use both. Start with AI, move to graphic designer.
If not, speak to Faith.
Yeah, speak to Faith.
Faith can help.
Faith's very good at it. Good at branding and things like that. And all that can carry through to your website, your branding, your company. But it's a good place to start, certainly with a presentation, offer, like an offer pack. But I think the branding is quite important as well. I think that your brand is important.
It just starts to create that credibility, because vendors are really looking at, can these people deliver? Can they complete on what they're offering? And through a professional presentation and an offer pack, it gives them a lot more support. In there, you'd be telling who your team is, like who do we use, etc.
Yeah.
And that just adds more credibility to you. And that's what you're trying to convey, especially if you're just starting out. So you want to be able to portray that you've got this team behind you and you're able to deliver and really get it over the line, because that's all what vendors want. They want certainty. So the more you can kind of cement that and confirm that, the more they'll be looking to do business with you.
Gives them confidence, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
So
good.
Moving on from that is investor presentations. Now, again, equally as important, if not more. It's always the chicken and egg scenario.
Yeah.
Do you find the deal or do you find the money? And actually, you need to find both at exactly the same time, because it's trying to get them to marry up at exactly the same time, isn't it? So
it's a tricky one, and it does work if you get it right. It works.
So you need to be doing both all at the same time. Continuously talking to investors, not having a development, but knowing that you're going to be getting one, and then you've got them in your black book of contacts and being able to share something down the line.
Yeah.
The psychology is very different. Investors are more concerned about, am I getting my money back?
Yes.
And that's what you need to try and convey to them, is that you are a credible party. You invest with me, your money is safe. I can offer you X, Y, and Z kind of security, your timelines and so on. And this is what you can do through a presentation pack as well. So we have an offer pack and we have an investor pack as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and again, like you said, credibility. You want to be showing your experience.
Yeah.
How you're going to communicate, how you're going to work with them. Just there's information in there that needs to be, well, it needs to be what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And you need to perform on that, really.
So you can start the story at an early stage. So if you've just met an investor, you can send them almost like an executive summary of who you are and what you do, and that gives you a background. If you don't have a development to look at right now, that's what you would send them, to kind of show what you've done and the history, building up your credibility. Any kind of social proof you can add to that is key.
Yeah, and also telling them the types of things you're looking for, and why you're looking for them.
And also the story, the vision of what ultimately you're wanting to portray.
And the area you're looking in, and why you're looking in that area. We talk about your gold mine area, and there's lots of things in that executive summary and that sort of pitch to get them interested and be like, basically on your books for when you are ready to sort of pitch them a deal, that they're ready waiting for it. So I think that's an important thing, to have those investors sort of ready and waiting for as the deals come in. Is key.
What we like to try and do is do multiple points of contact. So meet them for coffee, arrange another meeting later on, or take them to a site as an example. These different, or take them out for lunch. That was something we did yesterday. It just creates these points of contact, and the more regularly you meet, it starts this whole know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And really, that's what investors, they got to like you to invest with you. If they're parting with your hard-earned money, they've got to trust you as well. So the more points of contact, it just builds up that kind of relationship. Yeah,
but you have to act on that after as well. Like, you do have to deliver. They want to, if they bought into you and they like you, now you've got to find the deals and get them over the line. Speak to them. Put the deals in front of them. That's what they're looking for. So you need to action it then.
So the information we use in our offer pack, we kind of replicate a lot of that into our investor packs, because it's all the same information. But we will then talk about what kind of security there would be, what kind of returns they would be getting at the end of it. We'd be kind of sharing open with the numbers to kind of get them involved with the project, take them to site if we wanted to. That always helps, because a lot of people like to see, feel, walk the site and really understand it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think sometimes that can be challenging, because not all sites are placed in the greatest locations or the greatest towns, and certainly if it's a sizable site, we've got one where the actual site itself changes the place, all the surroundings, because it's of such a scale. But then some places are magical, aren't they? We were sold on it then as soon as we go there and we're like, wow, this is incredible, and anyone would buy into it. So it's important to know what you're showing, and to pitch it in the right way.
Yeah.
Some sites will just sell themselves. Others you have to be quite clever. Sort of, don't look over there. Look over there. Look at this incredible view here.
Yeah. Well, you got to sell the vision.
You got to sell the story.
Yeah. But never hide the risks.
No.
You need to talk about the risks. Make sure everyone's aware of what the risks are. But when you and you would have identified the risks during your due diligence, looking at the different constraints, etc. And if that didn't put you off, you would understand how to mitigate against them. And so that's what you would share with the investor, saying, we've identified X, Y, and Z, and this is what we're going to do to make it easier and remove those kind of issues.
Yeah. And investors want the facts, don't they?
Yeah.
They want the numbers, hard and fast numbers.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah. They want to know what it looks like, and options, what's in it for them in terms of different options.
Yeah.
When
it comes to doing your investor presentations, don't go crazy. No, we've seen some that are way overcomplicated, almost kind of repeating the full planning application type, all the different plans and reports and everything else, and it's like a 50-page document or something.
Yeah.
Some investors will just want a single-page sheet, but you'd find out when you're talking to them. Others will want a little bit more background, so we kind of include a little bit of that as well.
Yeah.
We have I think ours is about 15 pages long in total. So it's a nice mix. It doesn't feel too short. It doesn't feel too long.
Yeah, but it's not overly wordy. That's the thing. A lot of people, but they don't want that. They want to visually be able to see what you're talking about, and pretty much just the facts. They just want the facts. Keep it straightforward.
Yeah. You're not going to get a confirmed decision from the investor pack. All it is very much here's an opportunity. Let's have a sit down and chat about it. It's just creates that kind of talking points, and then you go into the details when you're in front of someone. I think that's always helps with building the relationship side as well.
Yeah,
because there's a lot in it when you're doing a property development, and you wouldn't be able to get. Well, I suppose you would be able to get all the information, and that's why you get a 50-page document. But it's almost like too much information is not good.
Yeah, information overload. I think it's it's too much for that at that point.
Yeah, it's too early.
Too early. Yeah.
The solicitors will get involved, and that's when it gets long.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let them do that.
Yeah. So just kind of touch on it again. You are the biggest part of your presentation. The way you present yourself, the way you talk about your developments. You need to be confident in yourself that you're able to do it. Pull the team together. As a developer, that's your role. You're the orchestrator. Nothing would happen if the developers weren't there to. Kind of take it by the reins and run with it.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to control. And as Kieron was saying earlier, you got to be confident in yourself and being able to do that. Be prepared. Go through the numbers. Make sure you have an understanding. But don't be afraid if someone asks you a question, investor or vendor. Just say, I don't know right now. I'll be able to come back to you on that. Again, it does kind of create another touch point later on. So
that's right. It has an upside.
Thing.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. Once you've done offer packs or investor packs, just make sure you follow up. It's always about the follow up. As I said, we offered on the site last year. We're still following up. It's not dead until they tell us no. Go away or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and as long as it hasn't sold, we know that what we're offering is still a good price.
Yep.
Yeah. So ultimately, people buy into people.
Absolutely.
Especially the more AI comes into it, I think relationships, the way we communicate with each other, it's a huge thing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. I think it's just do what you're going to say you're going to do, and give it all your effort. Don't be half-hearted with anything. Just, but also don't put too much pressure on yourself. It is just communication. We're humans. We talk. We're able to communicate effectively. It's not brain surgery. It isn't difficult. No. It's about just keeping calm, trusting your numbers, trusting your process, and just being calm with it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. I think that's the key. If you don't have anyone to talk to about it, like a mentor or anything like that, we would love to help you out. Yeah.
So do reach out to us. We're mentoring people at the moment, helping them with their developments.
Yep.
Love to help you out if you've got any kind of questions or anything that's holding you back.
Yes.
We're definitely here to be able to help you on that. Now, again, we're not perfect. We're not the masters yet. every master was once a disaster, so I'd kind of like to stick to that.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. But
we actually had somebody asked, actually, because we always say if there's anything you want us to sort of present or show or tell, and somebody said, it'd be really good to actually hear from our mentees. So I could think of one, and we'll ask him if he'd maybe pop on, share his journey and where he's at and what he's going through, and you know, the questions he asks, and maybe that'd be good for people to see how that works.
That'll be a good podcast episode, actually.
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah.
So we'll definitely do that in the future.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So just remember, you know, you can do it. If you've got the confidence and the people around you to help you out. I've got Kieron. Definitely helps me out. So.
I've got you as well. I've got you. Yeah, we help each other.
Yeah. He's got to say that now anyway. But thanks very much for joining us for this week's episode.
Yeah.
As always, fun. It has short and sweet. But do like and subscribe. Click the button below. Faith will put a jingle in it. And thanks very much. Till next time. Always learn, build, scale. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Kieron. See you again.